Bowen, career high 20 points for you here today. Just what was going well for you outside?
Definitely. Honestly, I came in and I felt like I didn't shoot the ball as well as I could have gone 4 for 10. But, I talked to Coach, a big emphasis this week was cutting, especially with my ability to shoot the ball. It's going to help our team open up the offense, not just for myself but other players. But, I came in the game thinking, okay, I got to do something else besides just shooting the ball off of staggers, pin downs, and just trying to get to the basket. And I was able to do that, and it kind of separated the game, opened up the shot a little bit more for me today.
Come from Ohio State to Akron, just what's it been like making that adjustment with new teammates, a new school, colder weather?
Yeah, it's been awesome. I love all the guys at Ohio State that I played with, but, coming here, I actually played with some guys like Nate in high school and Eric Mahafey and all them. So it kind of felt like a second home, and now is my home now. So, that transition has been awesome. And Coach Groce, Coach Ford, the whole staff has been amazing. And, everything happens for a reason. And my time at Ohio State was awesome, but here, I have a lot more opportunities that I'm very grateful for, and I'm looking forward to the process and cycle. So.
And as far as Nate and Mahaffey, you were teammates or opponents?
Opponents, yeah.
Were you ever teammates like an AAU?
I actually was with Eric's older brother, Evan, who's at Ohio State. Yeah.
Okay. And then you were high school opponents with them?
Yeah.
Okay. As far as with the remaining transfers, just what's it been like for you guys all to come together, playing with experienced Akron players, and now it's a new team?
Yeah, it's been awesome. This team's had a lot of success, and I know a couple of our guys, including myself, have came from places, where we struggled a little bit in the past, but, to come to a winning organization to figure out how to win at the highest level, is awesome. And with everyone bought in, like you said, with guys that have been here that understand the culture and process has made it an easier transition, not just for myself, but for all the guys.
Okay. Evan, a career high in points for you here at Akron. Just what was working for you here tonight in your team to score over 100 points?
We were sharing the ball really well. Coach really talked about doing us tonight, playing the right way. So that was one thing we emphasized, and I think I was paid dividends on that.
For you as a senior walk-on, you and Zach over there are the 2 walk-ons, along with Connor Groce for 3, right?
Yes.
Just what's it been like for you elevating up from a first-year college kiddo to now in your final year?
Yeah, it's been awesome, man. When people ask me, I tell them that there's good days and bad days. There's days where you might stay on the sideline and watch practice the entire time because you're not needed because you got 15 healthy guys. And then there's days where there's 4 guys hurt and they need you to play a full role in practice. So I've learned a lot, not only on the court but off the court, especially, Tavari mentioned it, his last post-game was learning from guys like Reek, Greg. I learned a lot from Ali as well. We've had a lot of great guys in here, a lot of great guys on staff as well. So it's been a really rewarding experience for me, more mentally than physically. I've learned a lot from all the people that have been around, and obviously you get to do a lot of fun stuff like go to Puerto Rico and win some championships, so it's been pretty good.
You mentioned Enrique and Greg and Ali. Those guys were here a long time. They're gone. So what's it been like where you transitioned from that experienced Akron team to now it's a mixture of returning players and obviously transfers and stuff like that?
Yeah, coaches relied heavily on the guys that are returners that have been here and played some minutes to really build the culture back up to where it's been when those guys were here. In terms of play style, it's been kind of everyone's been learning. This has been really different from all the returners. We would walk it up sometimes and throw it in the Reek and just wonder what post trap was coming. Now we're playing up and down and getting after it on both ends, trying to get a lot of possession. So the on the court stuff's been kind of new for everybody, and we've all had to learn together. But he's really relied on the older guys to tell everybody what the culture's been and that it's not changing and it's not negotiable.
What were some of those things that you learned from those guys who are now professional basketball players?
One thing, you mentioned it, being a professional. Coach has talked about what it means to be a professional. It's not just because you can score 25 points. It's how you conduct yourself on the floor, how you conduct yourself off the floor, in the weight room, in the classroom, the extra work you put in. So not only is Reek a professional, obviously, but Greg's a professional, Sammy's a professional, Ali's a professional, KT's a professional. We got all these guys that know what it takes and know what the process looks like. So I think that's been what I've learned the most from those guys is that this is not just a Monday through Friday gig. It's an everyday gig, and the more you put into it, the more you're going to get out of it.
When you were a freshman, who were guys that took you under their wing, that were upperclassmen back then?
Reek was good at it, obviously, because he was a walk-on, so he understood where I came from at one point. He was in that similar role, but I do have to give a big shout-out to Ali. Being from Indiana, we kind of connected over that. We actually had played each other when I was a sophomore and he was a senior in a summer shootout. He didn't remember it, but I did, obviously, because he's such a great player. So he was really good to me. He was always looking out for me, always giving me advice on and off the floor. Like, as a freshman walk-on, you're not going to get all the same reps that everybody else does when it comes to running plays and stuff. So when I was thrown in, he was the first guy to pull me aside and be like, hey, X, Y, Z, this is what's going to help you out. So he's been really good to me. I still stay in touch with him, and I'm excited for whenever the next chance I get to see him, because he's a great guy and he's meant a lot to me.
What would be 3 memories of your time here at Akron that really stick out?
Do the championships have to be 1 and 2, or can that be 1?
It's up to you. Yeah.
We'll do 1. The championships, that feeling you get when the confetti hits is just unreal. Time flies when you're celebrating those wins, so that's been great. The trips we've been on have been great. One thing I'll always stand on is that we become better as a team on trips like Puerto Rico, because when you take the basketball away and you make people be people, you bond sometimes better than you do on the floor. Obviously, when you go to war every day, you bond, but that Puerto Rico trip was one of the best experiences I've been a part of, because we got so close that week. And then 3's just been the people I've met. I've met a lot of high-level people like Coach, guys on our staff. I talked about professionals that we've had. Being around high-level people is what I like. What I want my life to look like for the rest of my life, just because you get so much better being around people like that. So those would be my 3.
I got one last question for you,
right.
Since we don't see you post game very often. But
Yeah.
Being that you're walk-on senior, the wanting to stay here at Akron, what you could have gone and played anywhere else. What was it, and what has it been that has kept you here for the 4 years? I mean, as a sharpshooter from behind the arc and stuff, like fan favorite,
Yeah.
you could have went anywhere, right?
Yeah.
So after year 1 or year 2. But you chose to stay. What is it about Akron?
I appreciate you saying you could have went anywhere. I don't know if I could have went anywhere in the country, but realistically, there's it goes back to being around the people I've been around. The culture and the environment is something that's not common, what we have going on here. My dad was a walk-on in Alabama, and he's told me stories. They won championships. He went to the Sweet 16 twice, but he's told me stories like, when things get rough, some guys turn on each other. I mean, it can get nasty in a locker room when it's so competitive, and that was when money wasn't involved. Now money's involved in the form of NIL, so it's the people, the culture. It makes me a better human every day, and if you put yourself in the portal, people say the grass ain't always greener on the other side, and you might see a culture at face value on one visit and think, hey, this is going to be all right, and then you get there and you're like, what have I done? So, and it's just been the people that I've met. I don't think I'm bad at meeting people and creating relationships, but I didn't want to break any of the ones that I had going here. So,
Opening statement, Coach.
I thought we certainly did a lot of good things tonight. I thought our defense in the second half wasn't very good. We gave up too many layups, so I wasn't very pleased with that. But other than that, I thought we really shared the ball, played unselfish, we played fast. I like our three-point rate. We didn't shoot it very well from 3 today. We were better than what we shot it, especially with the type of looks that we got. But I thought we were unselfish. I thought they got the game up and down. It was good in that regard. I thought our rebounding was pretty good. Just too many layup attempts by them in the second half, so we've got to clean a couple things up there.
Questions? Coach, Bowen Hardman, career-high 20 points today. What'd you see out of your shooter there? Steps into the starting lineup and made a big impact.
No, the same thing I see every day. Consistency and attitude, consistency and effort for the most part. Same guy every day. So he just keeps getting better because of it. I think he's getting more and more comfortable with what we're doing, who he's playing with, our staff, environment, and that also bodes well because I think he'll continue to play better. Obviously he shot it. Was he 4 for 10? On those looks, he usually probably makes 6 or 7 of them, But he's gotten better. He's doing a good job. I think what you saw today is pretty much who he is every day.
Just when you take a step back collectively, the transfer students are all making an impact. What can you say about those 5 guys and how they've been able to help this team?
Yeah, there's no question. I mean, they've been, and we thought so certainly when we took them. They've been impactful and added a lot of value. And it's been fun watching these guys evolve, not just those 5, but the 4 freshmen as well, with Young, Briscoe, Mahaffey, and then Connor. So 9 brand new guys. It's the most we've ever brought in at one time. It was a complete roster overhaul and change from last year. So with that, it takes time to get the connection that's necessary to play your best. And I still think we have a lot of room for growth there. I think our talk could be better. I think we could be a little bit more connected than what we've been, especially on the defensive end.
Would you call this a rebuild or a reload? Or
Probably a little bit of both. You know, I think obviously we're able from a talent perspective with the 4 freshmen, with the 5 transfers, and as importantly with the guys who returned, you know, be able to put us right in that same talent range we've been in. But, you know, it's hard to replace a group of guys that have played together for 3 years, 4 years, 5 years. You know, that's where, like, right now we're still a work in progress. You know, we've had 2 scrimmages, we've had now 8 games, and we're getting better. I mean, we've gotten a lot better from when we played at St. Mary's, both sides of the ball. Individuals have gotten better. We've got better collectively. Our defense and offense has gotten better. I just think the cool thing is we have a lot of room, you know, a lot of room for growth. So, you know, to compare this team to previous teams or previous championship teams, I don't think that's quite fair yet. You know, we're still a work in progress. Are we talented? No question. And we have a little different type of team because we're deeper. We shoot it really well. So it's a different style as well than maybe what we've played previously. But I like our team. I think we've got a high ceiling.
13 days off, Coach, with finals coming up before you take on Yale down in El Paso. What's kind of the messaging?
Yeah. We have a little bit of a break here, but it's 7 or 8 days before we play Milwaukee at Fifth Serve. And then we'll have a little bit of a gap of about 4 days before we play in that Sun Bowl Invitational. So it'll be good for us. I mean, we get to play at Milwaukee. I mean, we've got Yale and in El Paso. We're aware of that. That's our first round down there. You'll see what happens the second round. Then we got at Princeton to end it before we start league play. And like I just said on the radio, the good thing is, and I actually see it as a good thing, if you pay attention to statistics in KenPom, it says we're supposed to lose them all. So we'll see if we can fight statistics and play well and play well enough to earn the opportunity to have a chance to, you know, to win and get the result that we want, which is obviously going to be determined by how well we play. Got to play well. You know, our defense has got to be better than what it's been through the first 8.
Do you play that up with the student athletes of, hey, we're projected to lose these games? What do you got?
Nah, I mean, those guys follow all that stuff. They look on ESPN. They're on their phones all the time, these guys, you know. They know. But, you know, it comes down right now, and they'll tell you, I mean, my biggest focus even coming into this one, coming into Northern Kentucky, is are we doing what we're supposed to do? You know, I always tell them it's 80+% about us, around 20% opponent on those nights. It's not the other way around. Can we do what we're supposed to do with some discipline and some effort and some toughness and physicality? Like, can we do that? And I do think we're better now than we were certainly previously, but we still have to be more consistent with it.
My final question would be about Evan Wilson, a walk-on. You just graduated, a walk-on who's in the NBA. Obviously, not comparing the two, but just what does Evan bring to the team? What does Connor? What does Zach? What do these guys bring to the team?
Are awesome. And Evan's a special dude, man. Now, he's been with us now two championships, and he's been a part of a lot of winning. He's been a part of a lot of success. He's been a part of a lot of great locker rooms. He's made our program better. He's made his teammates better. And I think it's really cool. I've seen him grow a lot too and become a better player, become a better person. He's done great academically. He's a great representative of our program, both on and off the court. And, you know, it's been a real blessing to have him, and we still get to continue to have him. It's not like it's a swan song tonight where this is senior night or, you know, but we've got a lot of basketball to play, and he's got a lot of impact to make as we move forward. But those guys are huge. You know, Halligan's done a great job for us. Connor's doing a great job for us. You know, those guys do scout team, and then they're becoming better players in their own right, you know, through all the things that they're doing, whether it's weight room, skill, extra shooting, practice, scout team. You know, Evan's a lot better right now. Halligan's gotten a lot better in a year. You know, even Connor came in and, you know, what he's gained in terms of weight and strength from June till now. I mean, Austin Davis, our strength coach, does a great job. But those guys are growing and getting better too. You know, we want to
and Evan kind of alluded to it, we want to create a transformational experience for the guys on our team. So when they're done here, they say, you know what? I was better off because I went to Akron, because I was in that locker room. I'm better off. I'm a better person, better student, better player. I built these relationships. And I think, fortunately, we've had good dudes like Evan, and that's allowed us in particular last 5+ years where we've really, been able to build on that and sustain that. But it really starts with who you bring in that locker room. Those are the guys that's your culture. It's the quality of those guys that are in there. It's not the slogans, the sayings, the quotes, it's the quality of the people, and we've had some great people.
Okay, this will be the final question. Josiah and Amani did not
Yeah.
play. I mean, obviously,
Health related, both guys, and Lyles probably could have gone tonight. The trainer made that decision with me. We worked together on that. I thought the other day against Northern he was close, but needed a little bit of time. Obviously, with final exam week and some time off, we're hoping to get him back to 100% here very quickly. Josiah's dealing with his shoulder, and we'll continue to assess that each day as we move forward and kind of see where he's at.